Next, we need to talk about historical data. Just like the beginning balances, until you have all of the historical data entered, which are the transactions from your start date until today's current date, until you've entered all of that historical data, your reports are not going to be complete or accurate. Again, you don't have to enter all of those transactions before you can enter any transactions into QuickBooks. But until you have all your historical data entered and all of your beginning balances entered, your reports will not be complete or accurate. So, how do you enter those transactions? Well, you enter those transactions the same way you would enter them if they were right now. If I have bills or checks or invoices or make deposits, I would just do them in the same order that they would happen if I were entering them now. You want to enter your invoices before you receive payment. You want to receive payment before you deposit the money in the bank. Basically, that's what it is. The reason you're entering that historical data is because you want to be able to do tax returns. You want to be able to collect on your receivables. You want to be able to pay all of your payables. And so you want to put that historical data in. One thing that's a real tricky problem that people run into with this is they need to make sure that they have those transactions dated the correct year. We're going to put in a bank balance. We're going to have that as of the statement date. All the deposits that were made that were not cleared on that statement, and all of the checks that were written that were not cleared on that statement, that they are recorded in the correct year. You might need to talk to your accountant to do that. In order to do that, you might want to use an account called Open Balance Equity Account to enter those transactions. You need to talk to your accountant and ask them exactly how you want to date those transactions. If I had a check that I wrote last December and it hadn't cleared in my statement, I may be able to record that as an expense for last year or as an expense for this year. If I want for an expense for this year, then I can just record that as an expense and date it after the start of the year. However, if I want to make that as an expense for last year, what I can do is I can enter that and put in, instead of putting the expense account, put in Open Balance Equity Account, and then I can record that information into a retained earnings, adjust that into a retained earnings. And so we can set those up and record those transactions and make sure that you enter them in the correct year. And again, you might need to talk to your tax accountant to make sure you put those in the appropriate year. And one way to do that is to use an Open Balance Equity Account.